Yes, greetings. My name is Professor Yaa-lengi, and we are here to talk about the genocide going on in the Congo. Many of you, maybe you may not know that since 1998, over 5.4 million Congolese have died. 5.4 million Congolese have died. So I want to just introduce you to the fact that as we are here today, in a part of the world where we live in, there's a genocide of over 5.4 million people, but yet not one country, not one government, not one big media outlet has called these killings genocide. And we are going to know why, and this is because the genocide in the Congo is about economics. It's about economics, and I'm going to read to you the names of all of the countries according to the United Nations investigations that are involved in benefiting from the slaughter of 5.4 million Congolese in eastern part of the Congo. But I want to share with you first what a reporter for Glamour magazine, Eve Ansler, who went to the Congo to investigate, wrote in 2007. And this is what she wrote. By the way, you can always check this out if you go to the Glamour magazine website and look under Eve Ansler, E-N-S-L-E-R. And this is what she wrote after she returned from the Congo. She says, "I have just returned from hell. I am trying for the life of me to figure out how to communicate what I have seen and heard in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of the Congo." And she said, "How do I convey these stories of atrocities without your shutting down, quickly turning the page, or feeling too disturbed?" She goes on, "How do I tell you of girls as young as 9 years old, raped by a gang of soldiers, of women whose insides were blown apart by rifle blasts and whose bodies now leak uncontrollable streams of urine and feces? I am going to tell you," she writes, "the stories of the patients that a Congolese doctor saves, these raped women of war who now become Alphonsine by the name, Nadine by the name, women with names and memories and dreams." She says, "I am going to ask you to stay with me, to open your hearts, to be outraged and nauseated as I felt sitting in Panzi Hospital in faraway Bukavu." Bukavu is a city in the province of Kivu in eastern part of the Congo. So this lady, she went and she witnessed, she saw these women whose genitals were blown apart by these murderers who, after they gang raped them, then take a weapon and shoot them through their genitals. So now, some of them lived to tell the story. So these are the women that she went and saw and talked about. So what is happening in the Congo? What's happening in the Congo is a genocide. And another news person who went to do an investigation in the Congo wrote for the Independent of London. His name is Johann Hari, H-A-R-I. And the title of his article was "How We Fuel Africa's Bloodiest War." Johann Hari wrote, he said, "The deadliest war since Adolf Hitler marched across Europe is starting again. And you are almost certainly carrying a blood-soaked chunk of the slaughter in your pocket. When we glance at the Holocaust in the Congo, with 5.4 million dead, the cliches of Africa reporting tumble out. They say this is a tribal conflict. in the heart of darkness. And Johann Hari says, it is not. In other words, it is not a tribal conflict. The United Nations investigation found it was a war led by armies of business to seize the metals that make our 21st century society zing and bling. The war in Congo is a war about you. Why? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here. Because when the war in the Congo concerns you and me, and you know that it's about you, you need to know what about you that plays a part in what's happening in the Congo, in a genocide of 5.4 million people. Well, what you and I use today, a cell phone, an iPod, an MP3, laptop computers, all of these electronic gadgets are being made from a special metal that we didn't hear about 50 years ago. The name of it is Colombo tantalite, or in short, coltan, C-O-L-T-A-N. Coltan, that the metal that they use, is found about 87 of the world reserves right now is found in the eastern part of the Congo. So therefore, when you have a cell phone today, when you have an iPod, an MP3, a laptop computer, or any of these electronic gadgets, you are carrying, as this newspaper a reporter wrote, you are carrying a blood-soaked chunk of the slaughter of the Congolese in your pocket, in our pocket, in our hands. Now, when you read about what's happening in the Congo, they tell you that, you know, it's a civil war, that they are Congolese or are fighting one another, or one tribe fighting another one. It is a lie. As this reporter wrote, he's an Englishman who went to the Congo investigating. In fact, he writes, he says, there are two stories about this, how this war began. The official story and the true story. So what you and I read in the paper, see on the news when they talk about the Congo, that is the official story, which is not the true story. Now, he writes, the official story is that after the Rwandan genocide of 1994, the Hutu mass murderers fled across the border into Congo. The Rwandan Tutsi government chased after them. But the person here reports, it is a lie. In other words, it is a lie. The Rwandan Tutsi government did not go in the Congo to just go after the Hutu murderers. He writes, he says, the Rwandan government didn't go to where the Hutu genocidaires were at the first place. So they went to where the Congo's natural resources were and began to pillage them. They even told the troops to work with the Hutus they came across. Congo is the richest country in the world for gold, diamonds, coltan, cassiterite, and more. Everybody wanted a slice, that's why everybody invaded there.